Welcome to Battles in History. Today we are going to talk about the Battle of Axona. The Battle of the Axona took place in the year 57 BCE, when Gaius Julius Caesar led the Roman army against the Belgae tribes. The Belgae, led by King Galba the Suessians, launched an attack but were ultimately repelled by Caesar's forces. Before the battle, rumors reached Caesar during the winter of 58 to 57 BCE that the Belgae tribes were forming a union out of fear of potential Roman interference in their affairs. This union included numerous tribes such as the Bellavasi, Suessians, Nervii, Atrebates, Ambieni, Morini, Menapii, Calidi, Viliocasses, Viromandui, Adjuatusi, Condrusi, Eburones, Carosai, and Paimani, all under the leadership of King Galba. Caesar saw this as an opportunity to expand his conquests and raise two legions, 13 and 14, in Cisalpine Gaul, persuading the Remi tribe to join his cause. In response, the other Belgae and Celtic tribes attacked Bibrax, the oppidum of the Remi located near the Axona River, now known as the Ain River. Caesar entered Remi territory and positioned his camp on a hill with the Axona at his back. He dispatched skirmishers to aid in the defense of Bibrax. When the Belgae launched an assault on Bibrax, they spotted the Roman skirmishers and realized that Caesar was nearby. Abandoning their siege of Bibrax, they turned their attention towards the Romans. The Belgae established their camp within 2 Roman miles of Caesar's camp. Initially hesitant to engage in battle, Caesar observed some minor cavalry skirmishes between the camps, which convinced him that his men were on equal footing with the Belgae. Thus, he decided to confront them in a pitched battle. Knowing that his forces were outnumbered and vulnerable to being outflanked, Caesar ordered the construction of 2 trenches, each measuring 400 paces long, on either side of the plain in front of the Roman camp. At the end of these trenches, he built small forts to house his artillery. Leading 2 legions in reserve within the camp, Caesar formed the remaining 6 legions into battle formation, mirroring the actions of the enemy. The pivotal point of the battle revolved around a small marsh situated between the 2 armies. Both forces anxiously awaited the other's attempt to cross the obstacle, as it would undoubtedly disrupt the formations of the crossing party. Although some cavalry skirmishes occurred, neither side fully crossed the marsh. Caesar claimed that his forces fared well in these initial encounters and decided to lead his troops back to camp. In the next phase of the battle, the Belgic forces maneuvered around Caesar's camp and attempted to approach from the rear. The rear of the Roman camp bordered the Axona River, and the Belgae aimed to attack the camp through a single fording spot in the river. Caesar believed that the Belgae intended to lead a portion of their forces across the bridge, either storming the camp or cutting off the Romans from the lands on the opposite side of the river. This strategy would deny the Romans access to foraging lands and hinder their ability to aid the Remi tribe, whose lands the Belgae intended to pillage. To counter this maneuver, Caesar dispatched his light infantry and cavalry to navigate the challenging terrain, as it would have been more difficult for the heavy infantry. In his Gallic Wars account, 2.10, Caesar describes the action. Caesar, being apprised of the situation by Titurius, his legate, leads all his cavalry and light-armed Numidians, slingers, and archers over the bridge and hastens toward them. There was a severe struggle in that place. Our men, attacking in the river the disordered enemy, slew a great part of them. By the immense number of their missiles they drove back the rest, who, in a most courageous manner were attempting to pass over their bodies, and surrounded with their cavalry, and cut to pieces those who had first crossed the river. Dismayed by the bold attack from Caesar's men and their subsequent failure to storm the camp or blockade the Romans from crossing the river, the Belgic forces retreated to their own camp. In a council of war, they decided to return to their respective territories, where they could engage Caesar's invading army more advantageously. The Belgae's hasty and disorganized departure from their camp appeared to be a panicked retreat to the Romans. However, unaware of the Belgae's intentions, Caesar chose not to pursue them immediately to avoid falling into an ambush. The following day, after learning from scouts about the Belgic forces' full retreat, Caesar dispatched 3 legions and all his cavalry to attack the rear of the Belgic marching column. According to Caesar's account, these Roman forces killed as many enemy soldiers as daylight allowed, without risking themselves, as the Belgic forces were caught off guard, breaking rank, and fleeing for safety. The Battle of the Axona marked a significant victory for Caesar, solidifying his reputation as a skilled military leader. Despite being outnumbered, he employed strategic tactics and exploited the Belgae's vulnerabilities, ultimately securing a decisive triumph. The aftermath saw the Belgae scattered and retreating to their home territories, while Caesar's forces reaped the spoils of victory and continued their campaign in Gaul.